My name is Claire, and I've lived alone for the last 12 years. People think living alone is peaceful. Sometimes it is, but sometimes silence becomes a living thing, a weight that sits on your shoulders and reminds you of everything you've lost. That night started like any other. I made myself a cup of chamomile tea, turned on the small lamp near my recliner, and opened the same mystery novel I'd been trying to finish for weeks. Rain was tapping gently on the window. Nothing unusual, just another quiet, lonely evening. But then, something happened. Something so small, so simple, that most people would ignore it. The cushion beside me sank. Just a little. As if someone invisible, had quietly sat down next to me. I froze, my breath locked in my chest. A cold shiver ran down my arms. I didn't move a muscle. I didn't dare turn my head. Because I knew I wasn't imagining it. My couch is old, yes, but it doesn't just dip like that. Not unless there's weight on it. Human weight. For a moment, I tried to calm myself. Claire, you're tired. You're lonely. It's in your head. But then I felt it. Warmth. A faint warmth, right at my side. Like someone's body heat was gently touching me through the cushion. My hands began to tremble. No one else had a key to my home. No one had been inside the house for days. And yet, someone was sitting beside me. I slowly looked toward the cushion. Nothing. No figure. No shadow that made sense. But the cushion was still pressed down, as if an unseen body rested its weight against it. And then, a soft pressure touched my right shoulder. Not violent. Not threatening. More like a familiar hand. A hand that wanted comfort. Or wanted to give it. I couldn't breathe. I whispered, barely audible. Who's there? The pressure lifted. The cushion rose. The warmth faded from my side. And I was alone again. Or at least, I thought I was. Because when I finally found the courage to stand and step back, I saw something on the cushion where the pressure had been. A faint, almost invisible imprint. As if someone had been sitting there for a long, long time. Someone I couldn't see. Someone who knew exactly where I sat every night. Someone who hadn't come to harm me, but hadn't come to leave either. That was the first night. I realized I wasn't alone in my home. Not anymore. For the next few days, I pretended nothing unusual had happened. That's what older women like me do. We've survived enough loss to learn how to lie to ourselves. How to tuck fear under the rug and keep walking. But the house wasn't the same. I would feel a faint brush of air behind me as if someone walked past. I'd leave my reading glasses on the table and find them resting neatly on my pillow. My kettle would start boiling on its own, not roaring, not whistling, just quietly bubbling like someone was warming tea for me. Not threatening, not violent, just present. And that frightened me more than anything, because a threat is easy to understand. But kindness? From something I couldn't see? That's harder. 3 nights after the cushion sank, I was sitting again in my recliner, soft lamplight glowing, rain tapping the windows. I kept glancing at the empty cushion beside me, half expecting it to sink again. It didn't. Not at first. But then, just as my eyes started to blur with sleep, I felt a cold draft sweep across the back of my neck. Slow. Deliberate. I straightened immediately. Not again, I whispered, and then the cushion lowered. A smooth, gentle dip, like someone easing themselves down, taking their usual place after a long walk. I didn't move. I didn't even blink. For a full minute, there was only silence. Then, something breathed out beside me. Not a sigh, not a puff of wind, a whisper of breath, warm enough that I felt it brush my ear. I froze solid. And then, it spoke. Not in a full voice. No. It was like hearing someone talk from behind a wall or underwater. A low rasp, soft, broken. It said only 2 words. Found you. My spine turned to ice. It wasn't playful. It wasn't kind. It wasn't a threat either. It sounded like relief. Like someone who had been searching for a long, long time. My chest tightened so sharply. I pressed a hand over my heart. I whispered back, my voice trembling. Who are you? The cushion shifted slightly, as if whoever sat there had leaned closer to hear me. Then the air grew colder. Not as if a window had opened, but like a memory spreading across the room. And again, quiet as a breath. Claire. It knew my name. My hands shook uncontrollably. I turned my head. Slowly. So slowly, I felt the bones in my neck creak. There was nothing there. No body. No face. No silhouette. Just the shape of a presence pressing gently into the cushion. And then, the lamp beside me flickered. Once, twice, and went out. The room plunged into darkness, and in that darkness, I didn't just feel the presence beside me. I saw it, not clearly, not like a solid figure. more like a darker patch of night leaning toward me, its outline trembling, as if trying to hold itself together. I gasped, and the moment my breath hit the air, the shadow dissolved. The lamp flickered back on. The cushion rose. The room was still. I was alone again. Except I wasn't, because just before the shadow disappeared, it whispered something else, something that chilled my bones. A soft, trembling plea. Don't leave me again. Mira couldn't sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the man's trembling smile and those final words. Mom, you didn't abandon me. I remember now. But Mira had never been a mother. Never even been pregnant. So how could he remember anything? She spent hours pacing her living room, replaying everything the stranger Elias had said. The lullaby, the scar story, the way he knew the exact spot on her shoulder that always hurt during winter. That one truly terrified her. Only her late mother ever noticed that. How could he possibly know? The next morning, someone knocked again. Mira froze. The knock wasn't desperate this time, just one. Then a pause. Then one more. Controlled, calm. She opened the door. Elias stood there, holding an old photo frame. A baby picture. Mira felt the blood drain from her face. The baby in the picture looked disturbingly like him. Same eyes, same chin. Mira whispered, "Where did you get this?" Elias smiled gently. "From your attic." "My attic?" she whispered. "I haven't opened it in years." "I know," he said softly. "I had trouble finding it at first. You used to hide things from yourself when you were afraid." Mira stumbled back. "What are you talking about?" He stepped forward slowly. Not threatening, not aggressive, just heartbreakingly calm. "Mira, I didn't come here to hurt you. I came because you're the only person who can help me remember who I really am." She stared at him, at the picture, at the man who swore she was his mother. But something else terrified her even more. She suddenly realized the baby in the photo wasn't him. It was her, a picture of Mira as an infant. He had brought her own childhood photo from her attic and claimed it was him. Mira's voice shook. "That's me." Elias didn't deny it. Didn't look confused. Didn't act surprised. He only whispered, "I know." Then he looked straight into her eyes. "But your life and mine are tangled in ways you don't remember yet." Mira felt her knees weaken. "What do you want from me?" His calm expression finally cracked. Pain, confusion, fear, bleeding through. "I want to know why I remember things that happened to you. I want to know why your memories feel like mine. I want to know why I feel like I've lived your life before." Mira's breath caught, because suddenly, for a single horrifying second, she felt something too. A flicker. A flash. A strange familiarity. Like she did know him. Like she had seen his face before. In dreams. In flashes. In moments she always dismissed as imagination. Elias stepped closer and whispered, "Mira, you're not just a part of my past. You might be the reason I exist." Before Mira could speak, before she could scream, the lights in her house flickered, then went dark. The hallway filled with a coldness so deep, it felt alive. Elias turned his head sharply toward the darkness behind her, his face tightening with fear. "It found us," he whispered. "You should have remembered sooner." "Mom." The darkness behind Mira wasn't natural. It didn't feel like a power outage. It felt aware, cold, watching, waiting. Elias stepped protectively in front of her, eyes locked on the hallway. Mira whispered, trembling, "What? What found us?" Elias swallowed hard. "The thing that doesn't want you to remember. The thing that's been rewriting your past. And mine." Her heartbeat thudded in her ears. "That doesn't make any sense. My past is my past. You can't rewrite." "Mira," he whispered. "Have you ever noticed memories missing? Whole years that feel foggy? People you should remember, but don't?" She froze. Because she had. Not often, but enough that it haunted her. Birthdays. Old neighbors. Entire conversations. Sometimes, she felt like she'd lost pieces of herself. Elias continued, voice shaking. "That's what it does. It takes people and rearranges their stories. It steals identities, swaps them, merges them, erases them." He looked at her with heartbreaking sorrow. "And once, long ago, it took me from you." Mira nearly collapsed. "Stop," she gasped. "I never had a child." "You did," Elias whispered. "You just don't remember, because it wanted you to forget." He reached into his coat and pulled out a small object, a locket. Old. Worn. Engraved with the initials, M.E. Mira felt her breath leave her body. She had seen that locket before. In dreams. Or memories. Or something else. Elias gently opened it. Inside were 2 tiny photos. One of Mira, young, maybe in her 20s. And beside it, a baby boy. Her knees buckled. This isn't real. This can't be real. It hid him from you, Elias said softly. And it hid you from me. Then the temperature in the house dropped so fast, Mira's breath fogged. The walls groaned. The darkness thickened. A shape began forming in the hallway, warped, shifting, like something wearing a veil of shadows. Elias grabbed Mira's hand. You have to remember me, he said urgently. That's the only way it loses its power. Mira's mind spun. Flashes hit her like lightning. A hospital room, a crying baby, her own voice whispering a lullaby. A hand, her hand, holding a tiny one. Her vision blurred. Elias. Her voice shook violently. I remember you. The shadow shape shrieked, a sound like metal tearing through bone. Elias gasped, as if a weight lifted off him. Mira, keep going. Say it. Say my name. More flashes. A small boy running to her, his laughter echoing. A birthday candle. A fall. A scream. Hospital alarms. A cold hand taking him from her. No, that wasn't a hand. It was the thing. The darkness. It had taken her child. Mira screamed, as the memory returned in full. Elias, you're my son. The darkness recoiled, like her words were fire. Elias's eyes filled with tears. Mom. The shadow shrieked again and lunged toward them. But the moment Mira fully remembered, its form fractured. Cracks of light burst through it. It twisted, convulsed, and then exploded into a burst of dust and air. Silence. Just the soft sound of Mira sobbing. Elias slowly knelt in front of her. No longer claiming, no longer uncertain, but simply son to mother. You didn't abandon me, he whispered. It stole me from you. Mira touched his face with shaking hands. And it stole you from yourself. For the first time in decades, she felt whole. Painfully, beautifully whole. Elias stood. I don't know how much time we have, he said quietly. It may try again. It never accepts losing. Mira wiped her tears and straightened. Then it'll have to go through me. They stood in the dim hallway, mother and son reunited after a lifetime lost. Not by death, not by distance, but by something far darker. But now, Mira remembered, and that made her dangerous.